Good evening and welcome to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is Raph streaming to you live high above the keep in the hot air balloon. Tonight, as always, I have Neindorf with me. Neindorf, how you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, hanging in there. It's been we're kind of battling the blistering heat here in the Midwest, but staying cool tonight down in the basement, enjoying the AC right now. You probably hear it rattling around in the background.
That's a good spot.
Yeah. All right. We have a very special guest tonight, Jade. I met you on Twitter, and I asked you to come on to the podcast to help us gain some perspective on the macro crypto environment. So welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Well, hey guys, I am doing well as I can be for this current market, but I'm happy to be here and share some thoughts. So thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Well, let's start with, maybe some brief introductions. How and when did you get into crypto in general, and how and when did you find DeFi Kingdoms? Tell us about that introduction story.
Yeah, so some great questions. So my first Bitcoin purchase was at the very peak in 2017. Probably like most people, I bought the peak, not very much. And then I forgot about it as, Bitcoin went down probably about 80 or 90%, whatever it was. And then as things started to pick back up, like a traditional retail investor, I got interested again. And then this time I fell a bit down the rabbit hole. I went into DeFi. I discovered all of the Ohm forks. And that's how I got cross-trained. So into Polygon and KlimaDAO. And then I follow a guy named Taiki Medea, and he started talking about DeFi Kingdoms, but I didn't find him until pretty late. And then I'm in a group chat with some former lunatics, and they started talking about DeFi Kingdoms and Jewel, and I kept seeing this little diamond icon in our group chat. I'm like, what is this? And so I started doing some research, and I saw it was a video game. And when I was little, I was absolutely obsessed with any type of Pokemon video game and Spyro. And so I thought, wow, is there a way that I can combine crypto and video games instead of having
There just might
fun?
be.
I can
Yeah.
actually make some money too. And then that was it. I spent every waking night. This was probably around Christmas time in December. And I was instantly hooked. So instead of taking time and researching, how to buy the right hero and this and that, I just went for it in the tavern. I didn't know anything about stats or which profession alignment. I didn't know anything. So I just went for it, and I rode Jewel all the way up to 20 plus. And I'm all the way, here at 20 cents
Right.
below. So here we are. But I absolutely love the game, and I've been around, and I'm still questing my heroes, and I really enjoy it. So.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the podcast. Neindorf, kick us off with a question of the day.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll given that we have a guest, let's stick. This is kind of a pointed question, I guess. But is there anything specific, even more so, about DeFi Kingdoms, or are there other GameFi games? Is it the realm? Is it the atmosphere? Is it the pixelation? What is it about DeFi Kingdoms that got you going? I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but this is what really interests me versus, what's going to keep players at this game versus, wandering left, right, or center.
Jade, go ahead and answer first.
Okay, so what got my attention? Again, I think it just really makes me feel like a kid again. I've gotten into some pretty degen DeFi projects. In January, February, and March, I was also very heavy into the Phantom ecosystem, and to do all the liquidity farming and harvesting your yields. It's fun to claim your rewards, but it's a whole nother animal to, harvest your jewel and all of the gamified elements of DFK. It brought everything together in a fun environment, because I think DeFi can be a very stressful, overwhelming environment for a lot of people. And you almost forget that, there's real money that's being transacted, or at least this is how I feel.
Oh, same way.
No doubt.
So everything I put in, I don't know if I'm ever actually going to take anything out. It's all numbers on a screen. But, let's say I'm on a Phantom Degen, LP provider type of thing. That's one thing. But it doesn't excite me. So for me, I have a strategy, I was spending way too much time, say, harvesting rewards and things of that nature. So I set aside every Monday, I'm going to claim my rewards. But with DeFi Kingdoms, I had my farms and then I had my gardens, and I had my gardeners, and it became fun. And there was an aspect where I wanted to use it. And don't get me wrong, when we had those really high yields, that was very enticing as well. And it's hard to find farms that consistently had those high yields. So I liked that. I also like the game aspect with the heroes. I did summon quite a few heroes, probably not as many as you guys, but I think the reason we're attracted to these types of games is, the luck and the lottery type of aspect involved.
It feels a little like sitting down at the craps table. Every time
you never
you're
know.
summoning two heroes. Yeah, exactly. It taps into that part of my brain.
Absolutely. It's a high. It's a rush every time I was summoning a hero, even though it's probably cheaper to just go and buy one in the tavern. That 0.01% chance that I was going to get a mythic, or it's probably less than that. It was a rush, and
right.
It made me feel like a kid, even though it cost me a lot of money to play this game.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. I really appreciate that. And, I guess, Neindorf, to answer your question, I think it's the heroes that really keeps me coming back. I'm starting to feel myself getting even more and more invested into this as we've been playing Fight Club, which is the third-party app that has a full combat system that's still in its alpha testing phases, but being able to use your heroes in combat and make decisions around them, that's been pretty exciting. And even just leveling them up, I now have one hero that's level 10. I have another one that is ready to pop at level 10 tonight, so I'll pull that up on stream. Kind of excited to see what I get there. It's just that the heroes themselves, like, starting to feel like, really, really invested in these characters. So that's, I guess, my answer. How about you, Neindorf?
Yeah, I think DeFi Kingdoms had the luxury, in my opinion, of being the first game that I really encountered in the crypto space, and I basically latched on full bore. And then once we started developing tools, and that hit, that other part of my brain too. Yeah, I honestly don't have time of the day to find alternatives, really. So I'm fully in it, and it's great. The heroes are great, and like you said, it is a rush. On our last podcast, or we did like a summary. I kind of did hit that lottery and it was like, wow, I'm still riding that high, and that's changing my entire strategy on this game now, and I'm having to retool and rethink everything. I think every time something new comes out, or there's something that happens, you kind of have to start from scratch and redo your entire strategy, and that keeps happening over and over. I think those complexities are what are keeping me here and engaged.
Right, and if you haven't heard it, it's Neindorf has been humble bragging about it. So have I for you on your behalf, Neindorf. But you pulled an uncommon Dread Knight on your first Dread Knight summons attempt, and to boot, he has an elite skill or an elite ability. So I'm really excited.
You can brag about that all you want.
Right.
That's really cool. I would freak out.
Oh yeah, it was nuts. Like I said, my Christmas wish list was Dread Knight with an elite and mythic. I got 2 out of 3 on my Christmas wish list, so you can't complain.
Christmas in July, we'll take it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Neindorf, I know you were sharing some information with me off stream here, mentioning that the Gen 1s, they're with your better half up visiting the grandparents. So
yes.
You had some time to jump into the lab this week, and you're working on development for the site. Give our viewers a quick update on what are you working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So, with some of the RPC issues, I don't know if you guys had seen or heard, but the site
or felt. Yeah.
Yeah, or felt it, right. The site had was switching RPC nodes, and it had switched to one that was behind. And so a few of our lucky viewers out there, our subscribers, had their transactions scanned several times and got a whole bunch of access. And so you put out a tweet. It was pretty hilarious, and so they got lucky. So I've been working on correcting some of that.
I said, yeah, congratulations for the clog toilet Harmony Network giveaway.
Yes. So the beauty of the fixes for that is that it's making it so that I have a lot better code base that I can work on. Like right now, our subscription is really based on Jewel on Harmony. But in the near future, once we get that ironed out, we'll make it so that you could deposit Crystal and Crystal Veil as well. And then, the MetaMask integration on the accounts page, we worked that out. I'm trying to think what else is rocking here. There's a lot of other quality of life things like that. A lot of it's behind the scenes you guys don't necessarily see, but it should hopefully make for a better product as we keep moving forward.
Yeah, I can't help but think that Crystal Veil is going to become the alpha of the worlds, as it has to be. I think there's and they talked about it in the AMA this week. Dreamer said that it just feels like there's a really strong likelihood that Harmony that they move off the Harmony network with another suitor, another investor. I don't blame them for wanting to go take some funds in this market. I think they have to do what they have to do. And as you talked about Lunatic or Luna earlier, and UST and USDC
wrecked Lunatic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stables getting wrecked. It's really hard for unfortunately we're going through like the growing pains of crypto, and I'm sure we'll get through that a little more once we dive into crypto macro.
This brings back a memory for me on DeFi Kingdoms when I know I'm not the only person because I saw some tweets about it, but I remember swapping some Gaia's tears for like 100,000 Luna, just so I could officially shed tears for Luna, and then I swapped some bloaters for Luna. I wish I had done it right before it had that 100x though. Then I would have 100x'd my bloaters. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, I bought tears like at whatever the time was. I bought them at like the worst possible time, right before they crashed. I remember I spent like, I don't know, something like 200 jewels on tears, and that was a horrible investment. And I don't think tears are ever coming back.
Was that back when they were only being largely airdropped?
Right. They were out with the wishing
before
well.
pets. Or no?
Yeah, it was Wishing Well Quest. So this was a
while back.
A long time ago.
That was before my time.
Yeah, this is probably, I don't know, was that November? I can't remember. Anyways.
Yeah, probably.
So going to the staying on topic with the dev dive, we're trying to keep shorter episodes for you guys to keep more digestible content. And, you get Raph with vodka water, and I just talk forever. So, another couple things that we're working on with DevDive, go check out the Kingdom Builder program, and we've submitted 2 applications. One, we're working on trying to become a co-marketing application with the game, and so we'd love for our site to be a recognized third-party tool that has a direct in-game link. Whether you give us support or critical feedback, we want to hear from you. So go ahead and jump onto the Kingdom Builders program, or just drop us a note or a direct message. We like feedback. I mean, we just don't, although the site was originally built for us, this is what we want to build, a tool that's useful for all of you. So give us some feedback on that. And then second note, we also have a raffle ticket proposal as well for Fight Club, the third game, or third party fighting game that is associated with using your NFT heroes out there. So go give those a shout out. I saw Bless on the YouTube chat as well, and I know he has a couple grant proposals as well, one for utilizing weapons in game. So check out the Kingdom Builders program. Even though they're not providing money for the grants at this time, I think there's still some really fun and exciting community development opportunities out there. So go support this. This is the future of our game, is I think going to be in part with what third-party developers construct. So this is your opportunity to help shape the future. So go support that. It's kind of like get out there and vote. All right, so let's move on to the rest of our regular programming. let's jump into the crypto macro now. So, Jade, you've talked a little bit about your history and some of crypto in general. So let's zoom out and talk about that macro state of crypto. Something that I'm wondering that's going to happen maybe through some of the crashes that are out there, but I'm wondering about maybe your thoughts on altcoin consolidation. Obviously you talked about getting into Bitcoin first. That's still first and foremost. It feels like Ethereum follows shortly thereafter. What are going to happen to and of course, all of this is, as our longtime listeners know, we have reckless speculation all over the place. So none of this is financial advice. Invest at your own risk with your own funds. But with that said, Jade, you have a lot of really interesting ideas, and I've been following your tweets for a really long time. A question on my mind is, do you see altcoins essentially consolidating, or, a bit of a culling of the herd, and what's going to be left over as we kind of emerge from this crypto winter?
Yeah, those are great questions. I have to tell you that I think we're in for a lot more pain when it comes to the altcoin market. I have become a Ben Cowan into the cryptoverse maxi. If you guys don't know who he is, I've actually been subscribing to his premium list for over a year now, and he does by far what I think the best fundamental and technical analysis on the market. There was just a few times when I thought I was smarter than him, and I went really degen into altcoins when he said not to, and I have paid the price and regretted it every time. So my thesis is along the lines of what he says. I think that we're probably at the beginning of a long-term accumulation market for the next bull cycle. I think that we probably still have some more room to go down for Bitcoin, but I do think that altcoins will go down a lot more. I think coming off a big bull cycle, there was a lot of funding for a lot of projects that didn't deserve that money. And, a reason I say that, I was just in Austin last month at Consensus, and I met a lot of hedge funds, I met a lot of VCs. And, one of the guys I talked to told me that last year he wrote 150 checks to different projects. And do you know how many he has written this year? Well, the answer is 3.
Wow.
So, the money is there, but no one wants to give it out right now, and there's still good quality projects. And so I think we're kind of coming out of the end of this bull cycle. So you have a lot of these altcoin projects that, they probably weren't the best idea, but it was a bubble and there was money flowing from everywhere. So they got well funded, and I don't know if they're all going to survive, right? They're basically startup companies, and 95% of them fail. So we really need this time to have a cleansing of the market, and not all of the altcoins are going to make it. So the projects that continue to build right now, and the narratives that we see in the next year or two, they'll be successful. And I know short term, the price action is extremely ugly. What's left of my portfolio after Luna and UST, it's not very happy right now. I am mostly in Bitcoin. I still have a Jewel X Jewel position. I still have my heroes. It is still one of my favorite alts, but besides that, I am mostly Bitcoin right now. But from what I saw at Consensus, I met so many great projects and so many great founders. And I do think that we have a lot of interesting projects coming, but we have to flush a lot of I'm hesitant to use the word trash out of the market, but we have to clear that out. And that's going to result in a lot more pain in the altcoin market, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it feels like the 90s web tech, right? Where it was an explosion and people were just dumping gobs and gobs of money to anything that had a good website, whether the thing was worth it or not. And I've got some people in my sphere into crypto over the last 3 years. But then they'd go do some research and they'd come back and like, oh, what do you think of this chain or this game? And it's like, honestly, I can read their webpage. I have no idea why I would choose this one versus 500 of the other ones that are out there. And I think that's where I struggled is, that there's so many that are so similar that I don't really know why you need all of them and how do you select one? I mean, do you have any sort of some maybe background or things that we should be looking for in this sort of market, or things to avoid maybe?
So I'll tell you right now, I am not buying any altcoins. I do have some limit orders set on Bitcoin. I'm not interested in any alts. There are a few I have my eye on, and there's also some great projects and founders I met that they haven't even launched tokens yet, but I'm definitely going to be watching. And just in my opinion, it's not the time for altcoins. You know, Bitcoin is not healthy, and the general market, I think cash is king. And until we get inflation sorted, which I don't know if it's ever going to be back to 2%, but until that stops peaking, I want to hang on to my cash for now. As far as picking a project, you know, I've had to learn this the hard way, you know, being invested in Luna and now having funds locked in Celsius. I think it's really important to look at the founders and the projects. And, you know, when you have someone that's one person in kind of a seat of power with a huge ego, that should definitely be a red flag, you know, with Do Kwon and Alex Mashinsky. I think looking at the people that are the founders is very important. That's something I've learned the hard way. And then, you know, what is the problem that they're trying to solve? I think the next big narrative moving forward is going to be like blockchain applications for social media and owning your own data. That seems to be a lot of the things that people were building and pitching at Consensus. So that's something that I've been kind of watching. But anyway, you know, just looking at the white papers now, not just, you know, responding to a text in my group chat and seeing someone excited about it and buying it the next day, but actually doing my own research, not just saying DYOR and paying attention to things of that nature.
Interesting. So that I don't know. I guess I never thought of it. That really fascinates me. So do you think I really like that take on, you know, owning your data, social media. Is that something that you think people would pay for though? Like obviously people will dump a ton of money into games that they enjoy, whether it's $5 a day, you know, even back, you know, Raph and I were talking back when like Clash of Clans was out there, you know, it was a silly little phone game and we found yourself like, oh, how I spent $20 this week on this silly game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people will do that with social media when they're so used to like the Facebooks of the world that are free?
Well, there's going to be different projects out there. There's an exciting one, which I don't know if I can kind of talk about yet, but maybe we can stay in touch. But there's going to be different applications and different use cases.
Alpha alert. Yeah,
I might be doing some work with it.
That is really fascinating. I had heard that once or twice before. To hear you say that it's also being like talked about at Consensus feels like there's a lot more traction that's there than I thought there would be.
The main problem that most people I met were trying to solve was, you know, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on WhatsApp, you're on Google, and you're typing in DeFi Kingdoms, you're typing in where you live and, you know, where you want to go to dinner, right? And so they own your data. And then I know for me, I'm on Instagram, I see, you know, Dolce Vita shoes or whatever it is that's being advertised to me. And then I buy that pair of shoes. They're making money off of me. Well, they're not sharing any of that profit with me. So if you're going to put a dollar figure on how much my data is worth, how much am I worth a month in advertising? $500, $1,000, $50,000.
So this might be the dumbest idea I've ever had. I have no idea. I have not done the math on this. So you know, aggregators out there. Well, who am I kidding? We don't have any aggregators on this that listen to us. But you know, one thing that I was wondering is with Elon Musk buying Twitter, did he just perform an expensive marketing exercise? Because didn't he gain access to a lot of the underlying data of Twitter? And so, like, if he's pretending to buy Twitter and then backing out of the deal, he has to pay some kind of fee or cost for backing out of the deal. But he did, I believe, get some amount of underlying data. So the thought crossed my mind today, funny, which is like talking about this, which is like social media data. Like if he got that, was that just a really expensive way to just buy marketing information about users?
That and
Entirely
I think
possible.
Marketing himself, you know, he had 100 million followers. What they always say Tesla doesn't need advertising. Well, he's got between him and Tesla's Twitter channels, I mean, hundreds of millions
Right.
of access. He doesn't need to buy TV ads. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, and I wonder how much data he collected in this entire process. And I don't know of what use it becomes for Tesla or, the solar companies or Neuralink and SpaceX, yada, yada, yada. But I thought that was something that was interesting. Yeah, I guess Neindorf, your question, I guess I'll kind of answer it. I wonder, the cost of having, a blockchain based social media would be like the transactions, right? So every post that you make, you would have to, I'm imagining you'd have to pay like some kind of transaction fee. And I guess my mind is exploding a little bit right now, thinking through like how this would work. But to me, I've actually sworn off social media for the most part entirely. I do Twitter just for the support of, this podcast and what we have going on with our website. I do not have a personal Facebook anymore. I don't have a personal Instagram anymore, a personal Twitter. I do have a LinkedIn for work purposes, but I have strong opinions that LinkedIn is absolutely worthless and just a really lousy version of Facebook. So I guess I find it kind of interesting because, there's times in my past where I found value in social media. And I wouldn't say that was necessarily because of the security concerns, although I think that would play a larger role in my future decisions than it does in my current decisions.
Sure.
All right, so kind of moving on, and I think I rambled into this accidentally, but, Jade, I'll have you answer first. A philosophical question here. What do you feel like the value of crypto is in the long term? I think it's been tried and true. Well, maybe not tried and true, but, widely theorized that, the banking industry could be replaced by crypto. Seeing social media, that's like new to me. And with the amount of traction that you're describing with being there at Census, that's really exciting. What else do you see as the potential value of crypto in the long term?
Well, I am generally an optimist. I have been a bit negative because I've just been hit with so many unfortunate events the last couple of months between, Luna and, of course, Jewel isn't where we want it to be. And now I have money locked in Celsius. So not your keys, not your crypto, but mostly I've been involved with DeFi, and we could say a little bit with GameFi. But I have interacted with several different DeFi protocols, and I truly believe that blockchain technology will be involved in all of our lives within the next decade, if not sooner. And, I think it will be in the background, and, a lot of people won't even realize. I've done so much. I have taken loans against my Bitcoin. I've done LPs. There's so many things, and I really enjoy the idea of not having a bank as a middle person, and like having that flexibility. Being able to send money to whoever you want, wherever in the world, for fractions of pennies. I think it's truly fascinating, and there's so many people in the world that are unbanked. I do think moving forward that GameFi is going to be a huge narrative as well. This is probably, less of my expertise and more of you guys. I've been more on the DeFi side. But moving forward, everyone is on the computers and, getting them on the blockchain. I think it's all very exciting. But I do like the DeFi side of it, and I do think it'll be here to stay. I think short term, as far as price action goes, we have to iron out a lot of kinks. We've got a lot of centralized exchanges failing. We're in a bear market, but the companies and the projects that survive this will have proved themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think it just further strengthens, the importance and the need for decentralized protocols and finance. And I think moving forward, we're going to see a lot more use cases for the apps in the real world.
Yeah.
So
a lot of trial by fire, right?
Yes.
Well,
lots of fire.
Yeah, lots of fire and brimstone. So before I have you answer that question, Neindorf, Jade, you mentioned that you did meet some other gamified crypto founders out there. Are there any projects that are catching your eye that you want to just, we're obviously huge degens with DeFi Kingdoms, but I believe you mentioned something off stream. Do you want to talk about that quick?
Yeah, so when I was in Austin, well, first of all, I'll preface this and say I did get to meet a lot of the DeFi Kingdoms crew. Shout out to Spicy Maple Cat if she ever hears this because she was absolutely amazing. So, quick story. I was running around the Decentral conference trying to find the DeFi Kingdoms booth, and then I found them, and then I started screaming, and I actually started crying because I was so excited. They were like, "Who is this crazy girl?" I was crying, like I had tears in my eyes. They were streaming down my face, and so then she just gave me a hug, and then I was having such a moment. So they started giving me a gift bag, and they just kept loading it up with stuff, and I kept crying because I was just so excited because for the last 6 months I've been questing my heroes 3 times a day, every
Yeah,
single day
that's awesome.
for 6 months straight. This is a part of your life every day. So I was having such a moment. So she filled up the bag with, hats and bloater pins and, whatever it was. And then that bag got full. So then she pulled out a backpack, DeFi Kingdom's backpack, which I don't know if I'm supposed to say that I have. And then she put that bag in a backpack. And, I spent probably 45 minutes talking to her and a couple of the other people. And it was really cool to meet them and put faces to the names or, their fake names or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And have the confidence to know that these are real people, working on a real project. This is not a scammer rug pull type of project. And, I don't know if they were more excited that I was excited or if I was excited to be there. Does that make sense?
It does, for sure. Well, that's really cool.
But yeah,
I'm glad you had such a good experience.
That was a great moment. But anyway, so when I was at Consensus, I actually met another founder of a really exciting project. And I think that this will probably appeal to a lot of people in DeFi Kingdoms. Now, it hasn't launched yet. So the project is called Crystals of Nara Moons. And if you go to their website, you can put in your email, and then you're going to want to do that because then you're going to get special access to when they launch NFTs and things of that nature. But, I think that this will do well, and they're backed by a lot of very prominent blockchain investor VC companies. I wish that I had gotten into DFK when you guys did. I don't know if I would have taken profits, but I wish I had had the opportunity to get in early. And so this is your opportunity to get into a project early. Crystals of Naramoons is not a play to earn. It's actually a free to play game. So you actually don't need a wallet to play. There's no barrier to entry. However, they will have a token, which will make the game more fun to play.
Sure.
I did read through the white paper a couple weeks ago. I don't remember every little detail, but I think you guys should check it out. I met the founder. He's from Europe, and I spent a couple of days with him. Really smart guy. He's been in the crypto and actually the gaming industry for several years. He's got a vision for this game, and I think anyone that is into DFK will be very into this game. So I think you should check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll absolutely drop a link in both the description of the YouTube video and in the audio version, and then we can share some information on Discord as well. So thank you for that, and I'm
still in touch with him. So if I find out about like early launches, I think they're going to be starting to do a beta for maybe some early users towards the end of the year. I can let you guys know.
Awesome.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now I know we're running longer than we thought we would, so I don't mean to cut you off, but any comments that you want to have on the philosophical question on value of crypto?
I guess the only thing I was really maybe going to ask about is, you kind of mentioned two things that stuck out to me is, kind of avoiding alts and, looking at the founders of these things to see if they're worthwhile. So I guess the first question then would be, where do you draw the line between like Bitcoin and the alts? Like, where is that watermark for you? And then the next one is with the stuff that had the shenanigans that had gone down on DeFi Kingdoms with Frisky and all that. Do you still stick by this crew as being, I don't even know how to say it really, worthy of investment and further attention.
Bringing
Okay,
the
so for the
hard-hitting questions tonight, Nine.
That's right.
okay, so for the first question, I think I would consider Ethereum not an altcoin, but I am not buying Ethereum right now. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are separate, and everything else would be an altcoin, if that makes sense.
Sure.
As
Yeah,
far
that makes sense.
as far as the second question, how do I want to answer this? So I did have a much bigger position in Jewel. Unfortunately, I did sell quite a bit of it to pay down my anchor loan for Luna, which I thought that I wasn't going to get liquidated, and then that ended up going to zero. So, I do have a much smaller position than I did have previously. I still have, my lock stuff. I still have a small garden, and I still have my heroes. I am not putting new money into DeFi Kingdoms. One of the things I do like about the price of the token being lower, though, is it's much more fun to play the game. Back in December when it cost me $1,200 to buy a basic hero, that wasn't fun.
Right.
And then to summon a hero, like I would have summoned a hero every day, but it was really expensive. Now, when I wanted to trade in 2 pets to get a new one, I didn't even think twice, right? And I'm glad I did because I got a really cool one. So I'm not putting new money in. As far as I'm glad that they're docs now. I like that they've created a company. It seems like they're still building, anything in this market. Everything is down. It's not that I'm not putting more money into them just because I'm singling them out. I'm not putting more money into any altcoins right now because I want to stack cash, and I think there's going to be better opportunities later on. It might be for projects that haven't launched yet. Like I said, I did meet some people that they're still launching tokens or something that hasn't been thought of at all. I don't know how long this accumulation phase is going to go on for. If that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on for a second podcast at some point in time. I need to go through this radically new concept of not buying Jewel. I've never been able to do that. So, yeah, I am like, I'm so pure hardcore DJed. It's bad. It's really bad. So, all right. Well, thank you for that insight. Okay, so I saw.
I've just diversified my degeneracy. I've spread myself a little thin.
Nice.
That's good. All right, so I want to do a hero giveaway here.
This is fun. Oh my god.
We have 10 people on YouTube right now, so get ready. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I have a pure archer and a pure thief out there, so a chance at a dread knight. This is 6. They each have 6 out of 10 left, and so if we pull a dread knight, or excuse me, not dread knight, I got that on my mind after Nine did that. If we pull a dark knight, sorry, not giving away a dread knight. If we pull a dark knight, he will still be, or he or she will still be 5 out of 5 summons. So really exciting for you out there. I saw on Twitter today, so I came up with a question for this, and I saw on Twitter today that you are a Dragon Ball Z fan. Is that right, Jade?
Oh my god.
Yeah, takes me back.
Yeah.
I used to be really obsessed when I was younger. Yeah.
Good. All right. So, so here's the question. So, put your answer into YouTube chat, and make sure you put your Discord name as well, so we can get your OX and send you the hero, the summon result. All right. So, your favorite character in DBZ, Jade? Did you say it was Goku?
Yes, yeah, I had a massive crush on Goku.
Nice. So my favorite character, I was a bit of the anti-hero admirer. So I love Vegeta. He's by far and away my favorite character. Probably one of my favorite characters of all genres of all things out there. So Neindorf, I don't actually know. Did you watch DBZ that much growing up?
A little bit. I was kind of an old school Turtles Transformers guy, so I kind of stayed in that vein. I didn't really get into. I saw a few episodes, but definitely not deep. So I barely remember the episodes that I've seen.
All right, so you'll be no help for our listeners then,
Nope.
as we're trying to come up with this question. So I came up with a question for my favorite hero, Vegeta. So you YouTubers out there, get ready now. Answer is type in the answer and make sure you put your Discord name in there as well. Vegeta, when you're watching the show in standard chronological order, who is the villain that Vegeta faces when you first see him go Super Saiyan?
Oh man,
Boy,
I wouldn't remember that.
hey, that's what Google's for.
So
Oh, that's a
open note,
deep
please.
one.
I might have gone way too deep on this one. I don't know. I was trying to come up with a question that was like not like right off the top or off the tongue, answerable, but something
You could
that
have just said, "What color does their hair go when they're Super Saiyan?"
yeah.
or something like that. I don't know.
All right, Blackwing got it. Android 19.
Wow.
So he's that fat little android that I absolutely enjoy watching Vegeta like rip his arms off. So yes,
I am impressed, Blackwing.
excellent job, Blackwing. A long-time listener too, so well earned. All right, I'm really excited for you here. Okay, I have this up on.
Can I ask Blackwing if he knew that or if he had to Google it?
Oh yeah, that's totally fair.
I'm really
Blackwing,
curious.
you have to answer honestly. We'll put you through a polygraph test after this. We'll have a little bit of delay on YouTube here, but that's great follow-up question.
Gotta wait for the network to do its thing here.
Aaron Price just said Aaron Price's Discord name or AP is Discord name, and no idea. I applaud the effort. Well done.
At least he's honest.
Yeah. Oh, and Bless is asking for some reclarification of the question. I apologize. I did not communicate that well. All right, so Blackwing, we expect to find out whether you knew this or had to research it.
There we go.
All right, opening the crystal now. Pulling up the MetaMask pop-up.
You've had a lot of good luck with this pair given away, by the way.
Yeah, we've had 2 rare archers and 2 dark knights, both common dark knights.
Do you have
so
a
far.
ritual before you open it? Do you do anything special?
I do not. I should because
Well, don't change it now.
I haven't been having great luck. I've been getting rugged. Okay, so it's a thief.
Ooh, so you haven't gotten one of those yet.
I haven't got a thief yet. Blackwing, I hope you need a thief. All right, Neindorf. Uncommon.
Yeah, of course. That's all I ever call. It's got to be uncommon.
Jade, what's your call on the rarity?
Mythic.
Ooh,
Mythic. I
that would be
like it.
amazing.
All right, now we've also had an average of like 2 advanced abilities per time here. So, Neindorf, maybe I'll have you bring up the website and punch in the hero number here right away. We'll have to check that out. All right, so clicking in. All right, so we have a common thief. I'm sorry, Blackwing. That is a bit of a disappointment. So,
Such a great answer, too.
Yeah, to a great answer. Hero number 265875.
All right, so
See if we get any advanced abilities.
yes, let's see. Scrolling down, you've got advanced 4 underneath active 2. So you did pick one up. I like to look over the visuals here. We got some basic. That's all good. So you did pick
He's
up
cute.
an advanced. Yes, a thief gardener. Yep.
And R1
For the
the
class
primary.
is archer.
Archer. Okay. Well, sorry, Blackwing. Can't win them all.
The hero's a hero's a hero.
Hero's a hero. All right. Well, I'll send this your way. Hit me up on Discord. Well, you put your Discord in here, so I will hit you up on Discord for your OX, and I will send this guy your way. So
congratulations, Blackwing.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, I guess, what do you guys, we can close it out here, or I could show my legendary thief that just went from 9 to 10. Do you want to do that, or do you want to close it out?
10's a pretty big one, and this is which guy is this?
This is one of my PJ survivors. He is
Ooh.
the father to I think the only mythic that I've summoned. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's see it. Now you've got me intrigued.
He's a bit of the godfather here. All right, so let me jump over to the meditation circle.
While you're pulling this up, I definitely have been stampeding the dread. I got him to level 3 today, so he's still a newbie, but his first
level 3?
up.
How long have you had him for?
Since Friday. So yeah, he's drunk a lot of stampede. So,
yeah,
but he's had 2 really good level ups, an 11-pointer and a 10-pointer. So I'm stoked.
All right, so I thought I had this queued up already, but he seems to have canceled out of the first half of the transaction. So he has high agility, 32 agility at level 9. So wow. I'm gonna focus agility, and then I'm actually gonna start going for more balanced stats. And so I'm gonna go for strength and luck, instead of focusing on dexterity and luck, which would be the other 2 highest.
And you said you're going to 10, right? So you're gonna get some rarity bonus here. That's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, attunement crystal. I actually think that because I've had this guy for a while, I'm gonna see if I can't use the the greater or regular atonement crystal. Well, if it loads, the MetaMask pop-up. Okay, here's the pop-up window. Instead of doing a lesser, because I have a lesser swiftness, so I guess those are my 2 options. What would you guys choose, atonement or lesser swiftness? I guess that's what I'll go with.
Personally, I like this. What's that?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know.
Yeah,
there you go.
You guys are the experts.
I love the choice of this. If it's a hero that is leveling up well, especially now you're going to 10, so you've already got some good history. You know, if it's the first level, it's kind of hard to use those atonements. Yeah. You're worried about wasting them. But you got a pretty well advanced hero here with good stats, legendary, PJ Survivor. Yeah, you're in the right spot to consume that attunement crystal, or atonement rather. Man, that gets confusing.
Oh, it sure does.
Okay. And I went ahead and used one of mine on the first Dread Knight level up because I didn't have anything but lessers. And I was like, well...
It's not bad, though, either. Like, you'll get that nice health boost right away. It lasts forever. And you got some good stat rolls on that first one, right?
Yes, I did.
So it didn't even matter. I mean, it didn't matter a lot.
Yep. So I'm excited. I want to see where So it's legendary, so you get, 7 extra points?
Yeah.
So we'll see where those 7 points... That's going to be huge for this hero. If those 30s start to skyrocket, or if, like you said, it starts to end up with more of a well-rounded spread here, honestly, either way, I don't really think you can go wrong with the legendary PJ Survivor.
Yeah, I'm getting a really weird pop-up window here, of course. This makes her horrid podcasting. When I don't have the button to complete the ritual.
Oh, refresh the page. Sometimes I've been getting this a lot.
A good call.
And then usually it'll come back once you click on the wander again.
Oh.
No, or enter. Weird.
All right. Well, I'll try this one more time and.
See, I think he's out there.
So he got his level up.
Did it actually complete? I don't think it completed though, right? Because you've not.
Right. I don't know. He's stuck in limbo. Okay, so congratulations to our winners on the Harmony Clog Toilet. You won extra time because there was a weird glitch and the site double counted your deposits. So yeah, this is an example of that. Thank you very much, Jade, for joining the podcast. Absolutely loved having you on. Neindorf, as always, appreciate your expertise. Any closing comments? Jade, let's go with you first.
I would just say that, we're going through some tough times right now, but I think the people that stick through this time and, keep learning, researching, in this case, playing DFK and questing their heroes and stick around, I think that we're going to continue to be rewarded and they'll tell us that we got lucky and I look forward to that day. So I think just keep your head down, study up and stick with it and whatever you do, just don't leave. I know how tempting it is, but stick through it.
Neindorf?
Wow, that's some good advice. I don't know that I can
Tough to
follow up on
follow.
that
Yeah.
other than to say just say, yeah, everybody, check out the site, check out the Discord, come chat with us.
All right.
And that
Awesome.
too.
Well, thank you for joining us. And Blackwing, congratulations on getting a thief. And everyone, have a great night.
All right. Good night, guys.